Oldman Coffee. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, I got to thinking, the damage to the RV and the repairs were spread out through quite a few different videos. So I thought I'd put it all together into this video. One video from my discovery of the damage to the final repairs. So I hope you enjoy it. Well, I was gone up to Vegas. I had this Dolly parked so that it was facing this way right here. The tongue was out this way and the wheels were across this way, and I had it chained to the RV over here. Caused all this damage here to the RV. Broke that fiberglass, bent that door up pretty bad, and of course it messed up the fender and shoved up underneath here too. It's done so much damage that it's actually caused the RV to be unlevel, so I'm going to have to raise the RV up using the jacks. I can't lower it, so I'm going to raise it up and get it out. But it really pisses me off. Really makes me mad. I'll get it out and get some better pictures of it. Well, this is the way the Dolly was set up or parked next to the RV, except it was a lot closer, maybe a few inches from the RV. And it's very possible that somebody came around with a trailer or something, maybe. The damage is fiberglass and a little bit of the fiberglass I can take care of. I've got the pieces, so yeah, I can make that right. Take a little bit of work, a little grinding, a little, you know, body putty, but it'll work. The door still works fine. I'll do some metal work there to get that back as best I can back to normal. It'll be pretty good. And once it's painted 10 feet away, you won't know the difference. I've got some work to do. It's going to be cool the next couple of days here in the mid 80s. It's not expensive enough to turn into my insurance company, if you're going to ask that question. You have a $500 deductible, and this is not going to be worth it. My deductible actually is zero now because of so many years of not turning in any claims, and so I don't want to turn a claim in on this. It's not that bad when you get down to it. Probably the most expensive thing is replacing that fender on the Dolly. Well, the first thing I need to do in repairing that, what I found was not fiberglass, it's actually plastic. It's molded plastic. So I've got some JB Weld quick, sets up in about 6 minutes and it cures in about 4 or 5 hours. So the thing I need to do is I need to get all these pieces back together again. That goes there, this will go on here, and then this part actually goes over here somewhere. Kind of like that. Now, anyway, once I get these pieces back together and they're holding real good, then I can JB weld this piece back where the hole is in the side of the RV. So I've got equal parts of the JB quick set, JB weld. Mix those up and put them right in there and then squeeze that down. So I filled that area in there with JB weld quick set, and I'll make sure that that's nice and thick as it cures. That'll hold that together. Then we'll go on to the next piece. Well, now I've got all of the pieces together that broke off, and the JB weld will cure overnight like that. I'm going to let it cure overnight before I go outside and try to piece it all together. Okay, after the pieces were all put together for that part that was broke out, then I put some plywood, epoxy some plywood to the back of it so that I can attach that to the RV. Well, while the quickset JB Weld is drying, I opened this up a little bit so I can get at this dent right here. You see that dent there. I was able to straighten this out a little bit here. I need to get at that dent and this area right in here. So it's this dent right out here and then this area right in here. So if I can get into that area, which I can now, it's right up in there, and pound that out a little bit, that's going to help. Well, I decided that I wasn't going to be able to pull it down far enough until I remove the handle and the mechanisms and everything. So now I can pull it down here and I can pound that dent out. And this is all just spray contact cement. And so I'll get some of that from Home Depot and put it all back together after I get the dent taken out and all bondoed and everything. Well, I've pounded that out just about as best I can. So now I'll sand it all down and fill it in with Bondo and then sand that and do the prep work. And I'm using my 700 watt EB55 Blue Eddy power station to run the sander rather than turning on the generator. Well, after I sanded the Bondo, then I put some glazing putty on that and I'll sand that down. And I've got some sandable primer that I'll be using on that. So that's where we're at right now. Now it's time to see how this is going to fit up in here. What we're going to have to do is get it to match up. Can't get the camera back far enough, but that's okay. And then what I'll do is I'm going to just kind of get it in that position. I've got these holes drilled. I'm going to put some screws in that wood to hold it in place while I JB weld the bottom together and screw that, put a screw in that wood down there too. But it looks like it's going to go up in there pretty good once I get it all situated properly. Well, now I've got it in place and some JB weld on the inside and outside. So still working on getting it finalized and everything in the right spot. Still got that opening right there. So as soon as this is all cured up, then I can pull that together and JB weld that area right there. Well, that's where we're at for today. I sanded that all down and then primered that area on the door. I think that's going to be pretty good. Now I'm working on the plastic part there. I've got to wait for that JB weld to cure overnight before I can do anything else. And sanding that plastic is going to be a chore because it may melt when I heat it up. So I'll have to be careful as I sand it. But I think so far it's coming along pretty good. Well, the wind is kicking up pretty good down here in Laughlin, Nevada. And I just completed gluing the underside of this door back to the door itself. used contact cement and used a lot of it. So got these C-clamps on here, and it's drying up pretty good. My next project is to work on this area down here and grind out, take those bolts out, make sure that everything is held together well, do some grinding on that, and then finish that off. That's the next project. Okay, well, I took the screws out and sanded that area down, and I'm actually leaving these two screws in, that one up there and that one down there. I'm gonna leave those screws in. No sense in taking them out. They're not gonna be in the way of anything. And I'm gonna Bondo that area now to smooth it out, and then sand it down again and go through the process of finishing it off up to primer. Okay, well, the area is all sanded and primed. Now I just need to put some glazing putty on that, and I'll be putting that on with a sharp putty knife, and it won't take very much, but it will take some. And then I'll have to 600 grit all of that area and then eventually paint it. When it cools down a little bit, maybe early in the morning or late at night, I'll paint that. So that's the area with some glazing putty on it, and it usually takes, for me anyway, 3 or 4 applications of glazing putty, sanding, glazing putty, sanding, until I get it just the way I want it before I put the paint on it. And it's going to be painted black, so it's got to be smooth and looking good. So I'll wait for this to dry, sand it, and I'll continue that until I'm ready to paint it. Well, I got these fenders, but they're plastic and they're really flexible. I'm not satisfied with them at all. So I had to add 16 gauge or 22 gauge metal plate that put a lot more stability to the fender itself. Now I still need to put bolts in here, but even with the bolts in there, no bolts in there, it's still better than, you know, it's still gonna have a little flex to it, but nothing like the other one there. if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it, and it really helps the channel a lot. If everyone who viewed this video just hit that thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it very much. It helps. And subscribe and leave a comment. I'll do the best I can to answer all the comments. So until next time, this will be Old Man Coffee saying, dream until your dreams come true.